Customer tends to approach every job as a custom job, and we do
Yes.
too, actually, because it's usually enough of the material is changed or the shape of it is changed to just make it unique. And because things have to be built to last, to withstand wind and rain and all sorts of different specifications, you can't. A flagpole is not a flagpole. It's a flagpole. A flagpole that's five feet taller than another flagpole is a very different flagpole. So, as you can see, though, you're using many times the same material. So what we do is we take the material and we apply it to the unique circumstances of the customer. So we'll have the panel, and underneath all this pretty and fancy work is just the panel that's required to allow it to have for all this stuff for a place to hang. Okay, and every project, or the majority of the projects we do, will have a panel. I mean, you'll need that panel. That's at the core. The projects that we do will have some sort of structure that's underneath them from which you can hang the panel on. It may be steel, it may be fiberglass. Again, a lot of that can be driven by the customer. But as you go along here, they'll all stipulate that, yeah, I need these panels, but where it gets tricky and where it gets custom is on how they want them to ultimately look at the end of the day. So in this particular instance, here we are again. We're back to the typical panel that we use just about everywhere we go in the United States. But they've taken it and made it look very different from what I was describing back here. And here you have a special cornice put on there. You've got bricks that have been indented. And here this is just a flat, straightforward, like you might see on a medical building somewhere in the United States. As you move along down here, you see, again, we're taking the material. The common theme of all this material is that it's RF transparent. Remember, that means our radio frequency, and we want material that's in front of the antennas to be RF transparent, so the signal never gets hung up. And this is basic window that we would put in some sort of structure to make it look more like the existing structure that was either there or that's currently there. And again, it's built out of the very same materials and plastics that you'll see used in something like this. Over here we have an example of a cedar shake type of approach where each one of these is cut out by hand and then placed in order to mimic what is on site. This is not something that you can just slap together with it in one sheet at a time. Most building owners, especially nowadays, are very, very particular about what goes on their building, and they want it to look like what's there, and they want it to last. So one of the ways we make things last is by taking the painstaking steps that are required to make sure this stuff is attached and will stay on and look as best as it possibly can for as long as it can. But again, you see the common element, panels and the foam, so we just keep reusing the themes, but we use them in the different ways that allow the client to be very imaginative in their approach for solving the problem.